Hello and welcome to this short, fun little sequence where we're going to be playing with a little bit of hip opening just to kind of relax the body, loosen it up and just feel a little bit more free. So to make this nice and quick today, we are going to start straight away in downward facing dog. So if you'd like to come down onto your hands and knees, I always like to bring my hands out a little bit further than my shoulders, tuck your toes and come into your downward facing dog. Now when you're in your downward facing dog, really lengthen through the spine here, bend the knees, push your chest backwards and lift your hips up. Okay, so downward facing dog is not about getting your heels to the ground, it's more about lengthening through the spine. Take a big inhale and exhale here. And then bring your toes together at the back of the mat. Right leg's gonna lift up high. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, place your right foot to the outside of the right hand. Toes are gonna point a little bit diagonal out towards the side. Sink down into your lizard lunge here. So get your hips as low as possible. Take a big inhale and exhale. And then let's shuffle the right foot a little bit further back, just give it a little wiggle. And we're gonna come into our pigeon pose. So cross it underneath you till it's underneath the left hip, okay? And then drop your right knee so it's behind your right wrist. And then lower your hips down, shuffle that left leg back and find yourself in your pigeon pose. Lengthen up through the spine here. And then let's drop our right hip down to the floor, swing your left leg around in front of you, and I want you to cradle your left lower leg. So one thing you can do here is either use your hands on your left lower leg, or grab your left foot and place it on the crease of the right elbow, and you can hug your leg in this way. So just cradling your leg here, might feel a nice stretch all down the left hip. So moving a little bit quicker today than we normally do. Now I want you to let go of that. Place your left ankle on top of your right knee. And then bring your left knee on top of your right ankle. Okay, so as you look down, you've got this triangle shape in between your legs. Your lower legs are stacked. Now, if you find this difficult, place your left leg in front. Okay, lengthen through the spine, take whichever variation you need. Bring your hands in front, maybe fold forward slightly. It might deepen the stretch down that left hip. Take a big inhale and exhale here. Walk yourself back up. Unhook the legs, bring the soles of your feet together in line with your pelvis, so right in front of you. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, maybe fold forward, but try to keep the length in your spine here. Now, the closer in your ankles are, the more of a stretch you're going to feel. So if it's feeling too much, just bring them a little bit further out. Come back up, bring your hands behind you, plant your feet flat on the ground, quite wide as the yoga mat, toes pointing out, and then use your hands to lift your bum up off of the ground and come into your yogi squat. Now, if this is too difficult, come up a little bit higher, okay? You do not have to be down low. Into your yogi squat here. If you can, come all the way down, lengthen through the spine, maybe hands at heart center, elbows on the inside of the knees. Bring your hands down to the ground, hips all the way up. Heel toe your feet to hips distance. And then roll up nice and slowly through the body. Find yourself in mountain pose. At the top of your mat, you might want to take a step forward. If you, like me, you've ended up a little bit further back. Let's inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the fingertips, step all the way back to downward facing dog. Okay, same thing, other side. Toes together at the back of the mat. Let's lift the left leg up high. Big inhale, as you exhale, place it to the outside of your left hand. Remember, toes pointing out a little bit diagonally. Sink those hips nice and low. And then wiggle them toes a little bit further back. Make sure that your left ankle comes underneath your right hip. Left knee comes behind the left hand. Shuffle that right leg backwards so you can lower your hips as low as they will go. So you end up in your pigeon pose. Lengthen through the spine here. It's okay if your knee comes out a little bit diagonally here as well. And then roll onto your left hip. Swing your right leg out in front. Cradle that leg. Take your variation. Maybe you just use your hands. Maybe you can get it to the inside of that elbow crease. Hug that lower leg in, maybe gently rocking side to side. And then loosen that. Place the right foot on top of the left knee so that your right knee comes above your left ankle. Again, if this feels too much, place it in front of the leg. Lengthen up through the spine. Bring the hands in front, slowly lower down. Take a big breath here. Walk the hands back up. Unhook the legs, bring soles of your feet together, back into your butterfly pose. So lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward. You can always use your elbows on your knees if you want, or just bring them down in front. Just try to lengthen through your spine as much as possible. And then slowly come back up. Plant your fingers behind you. Plant your feet flat on the ground as wide as the yoga mat. Push yourself up into your yogi squat, or again, maybe you're up a little bit higher. Nice big breath here. Fingertips down to the ground. Lift your hips up. Heel toe your feet to hip distance. Slowly roll up through the body, letting your arms and your head down go until you come up to standing. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Take both of your knees down to the ground. Toes together. Knees as wide as your yoga mat. Sit your hips back. Arms come out in front. Drop your head down to the ground. Let it rest. Try to loosen all of the muscles of the back, the hips, the arms. Let everything relax. Feel your chest expanding as you breathe in, and your body relaxing as you breathe out. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like, but if you are ready, just slowly walk yourself back up. And that's us done for today. Thank you so much for joining me today for this quick vinyasa flow. I know sometimes it can be a little bit faster. We do tend to break these kind of flows down inside my membership in Lakora Live. So if you would like access to that, I'll leave the link in the description below. We go live 3 times a week and all of the replays are available on a really easy to use app. So go and check that out and I will see you next time.